Hello, my gorgeous fempreneurs. Welcome back to the podcast. So, last week we did part 1 of 2 on a limiting beliefs conversation. We talked about how you can find your limiting beliefs and really just uncovering what they are, because everybody kind of knows, I feel like in this day and age, that limiting beliefs suck, that they are a big problem. And we understand what they are, but we don't always understand how to find ours. We even usually understand where they come from and how they form, but just not how to really get specific and locate our specific limiting beliefs. So if you have not listened to that, go back a week and listen to the last episode and get into that, because today is part 2 and we're going to get into uprooting your limiting beliefs and really like getting into 3 specific techniques that you can do on your own. There are, probably like somewhere between 10 and 15 different techniques that I use as a certified neuro-linguistic programming practitioner and neural energetic wiring and encoding and all these different things and with my clients. And that's a whole other situation. But there are some things you can do on your own to uproot these limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck in patterns and problems that are holding you back and not letting you move forward. So let's get into that. If you're not ready, go back, listen to part 1. Part 2, starting now. Okay, so like I said, I want to get into 3 techniques you can do solo to help you uproot your limiting beliefs. Once you locate them and you know what they are and you kind of understand at least a little where they came from and you've got them like lasered focused, like this is what the limiting belief is. How do we uproot it and get it out? Number 1 is a journaling exercise. And I don't want to hear if you're like not a journaler or it's just you have a hard time with it. If there is a skill that you can develop in yourself to help yourself get where you want to go, become the person that you want to be, you can cultivate it. Let's not be the kind of women that say, oh, I'm just not that way. I've just never been that. And like, don't do it when it's something that's going to radically help us and change our lives. And journaling is one of those things. You don't have to journal, but it is something that is there that's a practice you can get yourself familiar with and get yourself used to and cultivate as a skill that's going to wildly change your life. Because the different parts of the brain that are activated by writing pen to paper are different than anything else, different than talking, different than talk therapy, different than even like EFT, all of these other things. Journaling is so powerful. So here's this first technique if you want it. And then there are 2 more that are not journaling. So this is a belief journaling exercise, okay? Step 1 of this technique is write down a goal or a desire that you have in your business. So, for example, I want to attract more high-paying clients, okay? Once you get that down on paper, note any immediate thoughts, doubts, or fears that come up around achieving this goal. Like, I'm not experienced enough. People won't pay my prices. Maybe you already know these things from listening to the last episode. Once you've identified that underlying belief behind each doubt, like I'm not worthy of success, whatever, you're going to challenge the belief. And this is the uprooting part. You're going to challenge each and every belief by asking, is this belief true or is it based on past experiences or fear? Number 2, what evidence do I have that disproves this belief? Number 3, what would I say to a friend who believed this about themselves? Now, let's linger on this step for a second, because so much of the time we say things like, well, I just always mess it up. I always fail. I always end up embarrassing myself. I'm just not good at this or that or whatever. And so pause. Is this belief true? Or is it based on past experiences or fear? Do you really always do? Like, no, this is based on past experiences or fear. Okay. What evidence do I have that disproves this belief? What time were you not that thing? So you see what I'm saying? You're walking, it's almost like this, I don't know, maybe I'm like confusing something with another technique, but this feels like cognitive behavioral therapy to me. Like, it helped me so much with my anxiety. This is like getting more logical and like really walking yourself through it. And step 5 in this exercise is You're then going to rewrite each belief as an empowering statement. So instead of I'm not worthy of success, it might be I am worthy and capable of attracting high-paying clients. Now you have a positive self-talk statement that you can repeat, and you can get your brain familiar with that and put that in as your new identity, as your new belief about yourself. Replacing the old neural pathways, rewriting them to be more empowering ones that support you getting your goals of having higher paying clients. Okay? So that's the first technique. Start over there. The second technique is the 5 whys. Now, might be something that you've heard of before, but I'm going to share it anyway in case you haven't, because it's amazing. So the 5 whys technique goes like this. First, you need to kind of hone in on a recurring problem, like a negative pattern that keeps showing up in your business. So this could be like, I don't pitch my services because I'm afraid, or I keep getting clients and making a lot of money, and then I lose the money, or I fuck it up, or I self-sabotage, whatever it is, okay? What's the recurring struggle? What's the negative, shitty pattern that keeps showing up in your business that you don't want anymore? Then you ask yourself, so let's just say, we'll go for an example sake. I keep avoiding pitching my services. I'm not pitching myself. So then you would ask yourself, why? Well, because I'm afraid to pitch myself. And then you ask yourself again, why? And each time you ask why 5 times total, and you can do more if it feels right, but at least 5 times. And each time you answer the why honestly, like you dig deeper into the root cause each time. So let's go through this as a full example. Example, why am I afraid to pitch? Because I'm afraid of rejection. Why am I afraid of rejection? Because I've been rejected before. Why did that rejection impact me so much? It made me doubt myself and my abilities. Okay, well, why did it make me doubt my abilities? Because I'm afraid I'm not good enough. And why do I think I'm not good enough? Because I've compared myself to more experienced people. Like, you're kind of just getting down and down and deeper until you kind of hit it. And it's almost like an intuitive thing. You can just feel when you've hit the root. Once you identify the core belief, then your job is to challenge its validity. Is this belief serving me or holding me back? If it is holding you back, then it automatically has no validity, and it needs to be like, you need to break it down even further and reframe it to something positive. So it could be like, my unique skills and experiences are valuable. I'm good enough as I am, because we so often think we have to be so perfect to pitch ourselves and get on other platforms and stuff like that, right? So that's the 5 whys. Does that make sense? You're getting like, what's the recurring pattern, the recurring struggle? You get clear on that. And then why is that? Why do I do that? Because I'm afraid. Why are you like, up what? Why? Et cetera, until you get down to the root. Then once you get to the root, you've found the specific belief and you challenge it. If it's holding you back, then it needs to be challenged. How can you challenge it? How can this be reframed? How is this not true? You can even combine the 5 whys technique with the belief journaling exercise. And instead of journaling, talk out loud to yourself like, okay, is this belief true, or is it based on past experience or fear? And kind of talk yourself through it. Okay. And the third technique I wanted to share with you today on uprooting your limiting beliefs is evidence-based reframing. Here are the steps for this one. First, you're going to choose a limiting belief that you have. So something that you uncovered after you listened to the last episode, okay? Let's say, for example's sake, that yours is, I'm not good at selling. Next, you're going to write down every single piece of evidence that you can find that contradicts this belief. So some examples might be, well, I have successfully sold to clients in the past. Okay, so you have sold something before. Maybe not in this particular part of your business, or maybe not in your business at all. Maybe you sold things to people, in the past, or in an old job, or hell, maybe you've sold things to people that didn't even make you money. You just talked to people about something that you liked that worked for you, and they went to the person that sells it and they bought it. You sold that for them. So find every single piece of evidence that you can find that contradicts this limiting belief, okay? Next, you're going to reflect on how focusing on this negative belief and operating out of that negative limiting belief has held you back. and really get real with yourself. Like, what has this kept me from? Then you're going to shift it to what is focusing on the positive evidence going to allow me to achieve? And play with that narrative. Like, if I were really to just shift this and focus on the positive, focus on all this positive evidence I just dug up, what's that going to allow me to do? From there, you're going to create a new belief statement that reflects the positive evidence. So, for example, I am capable of selling effectively when I connect authentically with clients. So, yeah, like maybe it's a reframe. Like, yeah, of course, like I'm not a shitty salesman or saleswoman because I am authentic and I really like need to connect. So, I'm very good at selling when I connect authentically with clients. So I'm going to put my process of selling in line with how I need an authentic connection with people. So I'm going to do clarity calls. I'm going to do discovery calls. I'm going to do sales calls. I'm going to Voxer with people. I'm going to give them my phone number. Fuck it. And just text them and like sell in my DMs. Like I'm going to connect with people and that's how I'm going to sell because I'm very good at selling and capable of selling effectively when I connect authentically. So connection is going to be the foundation of my sales process. Maybe I'm just not good at selling when it's done this old bro marketing way that's not serving me. So you're able to like, now you like completely debunked this old limiting belief that you're just not good at selling. Do you see the power in that? So pick one of these 3 techniques or mix them up for different beliefs, whatever feels good. The belief journaling exercise, the 5 whys, and the evidence-based reframing exercise. This is audio. I know that. I took this episode, like these 3 techniques, and I wrote them out for you step by step, and I put them in like a super simple like Google Doc. So you can just like go get it, look at it, save it in your phone, download it as a PDF, whatever you want. It's free. Go to alliecasasa.com/BE links, BE for business energetics, okay, /BE links. And get this. It's going to be at the top of the page if you are listening to this episode when it first comes out. Otherwise, you can scroll and find it. But it's going to be the 3 techniques for uprooting limiting beliefs. That'll be the label, and you can go and download that PDF for free, and it'll walk you through it visually, so you're not having to like go back and re-listen to this episode a bunch of times, although that would help my downloads. I want to help you get through these more, and I know you'll do it more likely if it's downloadable and you can read it. I love you so much. Good job today. Please subscribe to Business Energetics. Please leave a positive review. Please send this to a fempreneur friend. Share on social media. Tag me. I want to see it. I want to connect with you. Thank you for spreading my show. Thank you for helping more fempreneurs get this messaging and understand that they are supported and focusing on not just the strategy, but also the energetics of business. I love you. Happy New Year again, and I will see you soon.